Hello, everybody. How are we today?
Good.
That's good. So it looks like we're waiting on a couple of more people before we get started. So we'll give it a minute or two just for anyone else to sign on. Never mind, I just checked, looks like we're all here. So, my apologies for Friday, guys. I was feeling quite sick. I feel a lot better now. So today we will be able to talk about defining our audience and what that means. So the first thing we need to understand when we say audience, it's the same thing as when we watch a TV show or when we listen to the radio. Our audience is whoever will be reading our piece of writing. And the reason that it's important to understand our audience is because it's going to help us to be able to write better. So if we know, for example, that we want to be writing to, I don't know, for example, people that like technology, we know that there's a certain way that we want to write our article or our piece of writing. And that would be different from if we were going to write to, say, a group of kids, for example. We'd use very different language between both of those audiences. Now, does that make sense to everybody? Shall take that as a yes. So we won't worry about recapping our last lesson because we did that at the beginning of Friday. And thank you guys for continuing to submit those pieces of persuasive writing. I've been having a little look at them here and there over the weekend, and it looks like they're starting to get better and better. So you guys are starting to improve with your persuasive writing skills. So well done. So the first thing that I want to do with you guys today is I'm going to open the whiteboard. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples of different audiences. And I want us all to have a go at figuring out how we might write for them versus how we might write for other audiences. And the first one that I'd like to put forward is, we'll start with kids. So if our audience is kids, how do we write for them? So I'll give you the first example. We would use quite informal language. So we might use slang words. we might use emojis maybe. When we're writing for children. So does anybody have any other ideas for what sort of tricks, I suppose, we could use for writing a piece of writing for children? So does anyone have any ideas? Actually, I'll swap that and I'll put it on the chat box so I can see the cameras. Very good, Conan. So Conan's put a fantastic answer in the chat box there. Make it easy to read. So we can make it easy to read. We can use informal language. We can use emojis. Does anyone else have an idea? How would you write for children? Kevin?
I would write simple words for children so they can easy to understand.
Good. So we've got, let's go back to our chat box. So make it easy to read, use simple language, informal, use emojis, slang words. So I've got another idea. We should make, the piece playful, because we know that children, you like to have fun, you like to enjoy yourself. So if we can have some fun while we're learning something, it really helps for the message to stick. Sorry, there's something going on with my Zoom. Ah, there we go. So yes, Lekang, saw that you had your hand up a second ago. What's your idea?
In my idea, I think that we can tell them to learn the alphabet first because it is the easiest one.
Good. So we could start them off. Where's my chat box? So we can teach them easy things first. Look up to topics. Very good, Lekang. Thank you. Conan, I see your hand up. What's your idea?
Teacher, my name is Ken, but I am using my iPad.
Ah, no worries. Conan, what's your idea?
I
While the writing, we should add some funny facts and crazy stuff that children like, and it will motivate the children to read.
Can you say that again? Your microphone was really blurry. Couldn't hear you very well.
In the writing, you should add some funny facts and cringe facts that children like to motivate them to continue reading.
So add funny facts to keep interest. Good. We've got Bo messaged in as well. Teach some easy techniques and methods. Very good. So those were some really good ideas, guys. Now, if we were to have a look at a different kind of audience, and when we say audience, we don't just mean where is it here? We don't just mean like young kids versus teenagers versus adults versus old people. We mean different audiences can be things like, what are you interested in? Or what job do you do? So yeah, there are a lot of different things that can affect your audience. So if we change our audience now, let's have a look at, let's say, technology buffs. And when you use buff in that context, so technology buff or gym buff or food buff, it basically just means somebody that's really interested in that topic and they know lots about it. So that's a bit of a slang word that you can use to describe somebody that's interested in something. So let's have a think. How would we communicate with a technology buff? It's obviously going to be different to how we'd communicate with children. So how would we communicate with somebody that's interested in the latest technology? So I'll get us started. We might use more formal language. So we would want to talk to them more like it was for work than like it was for fun. Because, excuse me. So because these people that are interested in technology, they like to know the details about the technology that they're using. That they like to know, you know, how fast it runs and how much memory it's got, and all of this different information. So, does anybody have any other ideas for how we might write for somebody that's interested in technology? Jin, do you have any ideas? That's a good one, Conan. So they're a bit more serious about their technology that they're interested in. Very good. And you can add some interesting facts about technology, like in the future, cars that can fly. So that's a good idea. I might hold off on saying that cars can fly unless we know that's going to be coming out soon. So, but it's a good idea that we could mention technology that will be released soon, because it keeps them excited, and it'll keep your reader interested in when that technology is going to come out. Very good. So let's have a think. What sort of people like technology? Like what types of people are interested in the latest technology? So I know that a lot of kids are interested in technology, like the latest computers and how their graphics chips can play all the latest video games. They might be interested in other video game consoles. I know that adults might be interested in the same things. Kids that are about 3 years old, I'd be worried if a kid that was 3 years old was that interested in technology. A scientist, good one, Conan. A sky house in the future. Is that like a house that floats in the sky, Bo?
Yes.
Very good. So, but yeah, what sorts of people are interested in technology? What are some things about them that we can think of? Stella, do you have any ideas? Let's hear them then. Conan's just said engineers are interested in technology about cars. Very good.
Kids like for technology, kids likes to buy wants their parents to buy the newest video games, and some kids spend most of their time when their parents are not home, or when they cannot do anything, they can play games all day.
Very good. Kids would be interested in video games. Scientists are electrical. Bo, good one. Robot housework, like doing laundry and doing the dishes. Very good. So, based on a few of your answers, we're able to kind of work out a little bit about these people. So, going off of Bo's answer, a robot housework, we can figure out that people interested in technology are people interested in efficiency. And efficiency just means get the job done as quickly as possible, as quickly as possible, but to the highest standard. So as good as you can. So people that might be interested in robots doing their housework, they don't want to bother with doing that stuff. They just want to have someone or some robot to do it for them, so that they can focus on things they think are more important. So does that make sense to everybody? Awesome. So terrific. Okay. So what we will do now, we'll try and figure out one more type of audience, and we'll try and figure out how we might write for them. Beautiful. So let's think of another type of audience. So we've done children and we've done people interested in technology. So I'm going blank. I should be able to think of another audience, but okay. Miss Stella, is there anything that you'd like me to explain again? Cool. So just saw your message said about 50% yes. Very good. So people that listen to the radio every day. That's going to be our next. So that's going to be our new audience. So very good, Conan. They like to listen to the news. Very good. What else do people that listen to the radio every day like? They like to listen to music. That's one thing. So they like to listen to the news. They like to listen to music. They like to listen to the weather forecast. Good. So they like to hear their information rather than read it or see it. Now, what age of people like to listen to the radio every day?
Like more than 50, like old.
Say that again, Conan. That was very, very yeah.
Old people listen every day.
Old old people like to listen to the radio. So old people. What about people that run businesses? So some adults. Because I know that every time I go into a hairdresser's salon to get my hair cut, they've always got a radio playing in the background so we can listen to music. I also notice the same whenever I go into a mechanic shop to get my car fixed. They usually have a radio on in the back room where the mechanics are working. Good. Some people also like to listen to the business news as well. So really radio can be for a very, very big age category from I'd say some teenagers may listen to the radio, so they can listen to their favorite pop music. Adults, the same thing as well. So for radio listeners, we actually have quite a wide variety of listeners. So we've got, yes, old people do like to listen to the radio. We've got adults, teenagers, and then we've got people that like the news, like music, like the weather forecast. Teenagers don't listen to news, they listen to EDM and K-pop. So, but it's not only news that's on the radio, is it? There are radio stations that play all the pop music, the K-pop and the EDM. So we have stations like that over here in Australia. You can turn on the radio and they'll just play all of the pop songs that are in the I think it's called the Hottest 100. That's like the 100 most popular songs. They just pretty much play those on a loop over and over again. That's it, Bo. So we've got children, teenagers, adults, old people. We've got people that listen for the news, people that listen to music, like all sorts. We've got a very big audience there. So how do you think, let's say, for example, let's take this radio example. How would you write a radio advert for someone that listens to the radio? What do you think the first thing you would have to do is? So we already know that a very wide variety of people listen to the radio. So how would we go about writing a radio advert? What's the first thing we'd have to do? I don't know. We're all doing the globe emoji for that last message. So I think the first thing we need to do is work out who we are writing the ad for. So because we have so many different people that listen to it, we can't make one advert that's going to be interesting to everybody, because the old people that listen might not be interested in the same things as the teenagers. So yeah, the first thing we'd have to do is figure out who we are writing for. And that really is the same for, dare I ask, what's so funny, Conan?
Writing the ad. And when you're writing the ad for the sponsor, you will get lots of money.
Well, that's right. If we write the ad well enough.
Money. Write new to get money.
Well, that's right. If you write the ad well enough, you can sell lots of your product through your radio ads and you'll make lots of money. That's why stuff like this is so important. So, do your family watch TV, Kay?
Yes.
They do? Fantastic. So instead of a radio ad then, let's imagine a television ad, an ad that's going to be on TV. So how would we, so the first thing we would do is we would need to work out our target audience. So who are we trying to speak to when we make this ad?
I think that it is my grandfather.
Your grandfather. Okay.
Have ads.
Why are ads for bad people, Bo? I'm interested to hear your understanding of this. Why do you think ads are for bad people?
Like if there is no ad, then how can you make money of writing news? And today's sponsor video things on YouTube. And on YouTube, you have the sponsor so that you have enough money to do that thing. Even Mr. Bean have sponsors too. I'm serious right now.
Very good. So, okay, so I am going to give me a second. Let's try to use this. I'm going to use this Padlet website so we can all put our ideas together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up, or I'm going to find a product. And we're going to figure out who we might try and write an ad for this product. Okay, give me just 2 moments. I'm going to find a product. Okay, I think I've got it. So the product is the video game Hogwarts Legacy. So that is the product that we're going to come up with. So I'm going to send you guys a link. Jump on this link, go to this Padlet website. And Okay, so if you refresh the page, there should be a little post there that says, who would want to buy this product? Hogwarts Legacy video game. So if you have an idea about who might like to buy this video game, someone just posted, ah. I'll add a comment on that. So, who would want to buy this video game? Your friend at school, very good. So, whoever posted that, how old is your friend? So we want to get a little bit specific with our answers for this one. So your friend, your brother, good. Not me, I don't like that game. I will give it to my cousin. Wandering Soul Dreamland. He is 11 years old. Okay. So we have our first category of people now. Young children or preteen children might be interested in this video game. I've got an idea. Harry Potter fans might be interested in this game.
I don't even know what is the game about. And I don't even know how to record them or something that.
Ah, okay, now that. Okay, give me just a moment. Okay, so I'm going to send you guys a link for the trailer for this game. It's only 2 minutes. So have a quick watch of this trailer and then we'll get back to that Padlet post. So everyone watch that trailer of Hogwarts Legacy. I'd show it on my screen, but we can't show any copyrighted material on a live stream. So we'll all just have to watch Okay, so as we finish watching that trailer, let's go back to this post and answer that question. So who would want to buy this product, the Hogwarts Legacy video game? So we've got a few people saying things like my friend at school. 100% my friend, awesome. Harry Potter fans, my brother, my friend at school. So people that like role-playing games, people that like adventure games might like this. Who else can we think of that might like this type of game? My family, if I like the game, there's a small chance your family will like it. The people who like Fortnite. Very good. So we see by answering this question, we can start to figure out who we should be writing to. And then once we know that, we can figure out how to write to them. So I'm just going to put that in the chat box now. What a shame the game is teen. Yeah. You say that like people actually listen to those rating systems, Bo. So, step number 1, figure out who you are writing to. Number 2, once you know number 1, you can figure out how to write to them. So does that point make sense to everybody? Because that's a very important part of persuasive writing. Some people don't like because it's for 13 plus years old. So I've just figured out that Wandering Soul Dreamland is Bo. So what does IDCS stand for? Never heard that abbreviation before.
Means I don't know.
Ah. Wouldn't that be IDK? Okay. So that's good, some of these answers that we've come up with. Well, if you don't care about this stuff, you'll never be much good at persuasive
I said
writing.
IBC means I don't care.
Oh, well, and if whoever wrote that, if you don't care, you'll never be good at persuasive writing. And that's quite a valuable skill to have. Okay, so we've done a fantastic job at trying to figure out the type of audience for a piece of persuasive writing. Let me have a quick look here. So in our next lesson, we're going to be discussing how to construct strong arguments. I get the feeling this might be quite similar to some of the stuff you've done with your teal paragraphs if you're part of my debating classes. But yes, so we'll be learning that next lesson. So I'm just going to give you your homework and I'll post it in the Zawo group after class today as well. So for your homework, I want you to identify 3 different audiences for persuasive writing. So 3 different audiences you're going to identify. I want you to tell me how you might write for them and also mention the differences between how you would write for one and how you would write for the other. And then I want you to find me 2 examples of persuasive writing directed at those audiences. So does that make sense to everybody? Good. Stella's already got her ideas. Fantastic. Very, very good. So, one thing I just want to do now to go over some of the stuff we've learned in the last few lessons. Can anybody give me an example of a persuasive technique? So this was that video that we watched in one of our earlier lessons that mentioned a whole bunch of different persuasive techniques. So I believe we had 10 in that video. We did. Can anybody remember any of them? I'll give you one. We had alliteration. So that's where we repeat sounds to try and get the audience to remember what we're saying. So that might be, let me find an example of alliteration for you. Okay, so some examples of alliteration would be something like, Silly Sally sells seashells by the seashore. So you hear that almost every word starts with the same letter, so it makes the same sound. Or we've got, Freddy Frog found 5 funny friends. So by using that technique, we can help our audience to remember our message a bit better. So if we use that in our persuasive writing, you only want to use it maybe 2 or 3 times for 2 or 3 words. And if you can do that, then your audience is just going to remember, wow, that sounds really good, or that sounds interesting. I'll remember that. So can anyone else remember any of our other persuasive techniques? Anyone else? Jen, do you have any ideas? Bo, how about you? Do you remember any of our persuasive techniques, Kevin? I'll give you another one. Rhetorical questions. Do you remember what they are? I'll show you an example of a rhetorical question. So a rhetorical question is something like this line here. Because we don't really want the question to be answered because we already know the answer to the question. Everyone looks forward to recess time. But we ask the question so that we get our reader to think, yeah, I do look forward to recess. And then they get a bit more excited to keep reading on through your piece. We have another one. I'm just going to pick a few random ones out here, and I'll include this in your homework as well. I want you to watch this video and take notes on the video so that you can have some new persuasive techniques to try out. Okay. So we're going to wrap up today, and I just want to do one final little bit of revision, recap. What's one thing that you learnt in today's lesson? Just post it in the chat box for me. What's one thing that you learned from today's lesson? Bo learned about informal ideas. Informal language. Good. So we can change our language based on who we're speaking to. So you wouldn't speak to your friend the same way that you spoke to the headmaster at school. So depending on who you're speaking to, you can change your language and change how you talk. Good, Bo. So what's something that everyone else learned today? Put a message in the chat box, please. Good. So Bo learned that people interested in technology are people interested in efficiency. So a bigger lesson that you could take from that, Bo, is to start asking why people are interested in the things they're interested in. And if you can do that, that is probably about 3/4 of the persuasive battle won. Conan learned Mananaka Nijijin EC20K Virgin Hubajin. I can't.
Read the English one.
I can't even read what Conan learnt today.
The
Head
English.
cub hub manager Haviomat for Uj Uj. Thank you. Very good. Conan learned what kind of people we talk to. We will talk in a different way. Very good. What's something that you learned today, Stella? Eight Ujva 89. Good heavens, Conan. Good, Stella. We talked about how to write for children. Very good. So I'm going to start a new class rule, I think. If anyone types ridiculousness into the chat box, I'm going to read it out. I don't think he's dumb. I think he just fell asleep on the keyboard and just mashed all the keys. He was like rolling his head across the keyboard. So, yeah, bruh, we did very good today, guys. He's at it again. So we did very good today, guys. This, truth be told, oh gosh, now I've got to read this again.
That is the children.
Oh my gosh. You guys are just being ridiculous now. I'm not.
The language of a children when they after they born. Like a children.
Okay, so I think Conan might be the undeclared genius of the class. He's just cracked the code on how to speak to newborn babies. So very good work today, guys. Being able to understand your audience is probably the most important part of writing persuasively. So I'll send your homework to the Zalo group now. And well done today. Well done. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for this class. He is the god of spamming. It's Conan. Oh, bless. Thanks for your attention, guys. I'll see you all on Wednesday.
See ya.
Bye.
Goodbye, teacher. Jean, leave. Leave. It's time to leave.